Hi, y'all, and welcome to Monday night's All Metal Mode podcast with Gypsy and myself, Amanda Digger DeGaz. Before we get started with tonight's episode and show, a couple reminders that October's issue of Dirt Digest Magazine is available at dirtdigestmagazine.com. Go to dirtdigestmagazine.com and click on current issue to read October's online metal detecting, treasure hunting, awesome finds, great stories, and you definitely want to catch it. And then next up, for a reminder and something to check out, so Mike Hare has a kind of new article, kind of new because we haven't been on the air in a few weeks, on allmetalmode.com is tips for metal detecting old houses. It's actually a pretty cool article, so I'm going to throw the link in chat, and um, those of you who aren't in chat, if you want to go to allmetalmode.com and you can read Mike Hare's tips for metal detecting old houses, which is pretty cool. So definitely head on over there and give it a listen. So I know Gypsy and I haven't been on air for a little while, and I do need to apologize. I have my computer back. It's running. We are, yay, on air. So pretty excited. We don't have a guest tonight because obviously everything getting it back working was right at the line. So Gypsy and I are gonna tell you what's been going on for the last few weeks. So hey Gypsy, how are you?
Hi, we're back. It's
Yeah,
been so long.
I know. I honestly even still. So while we haven't even been on air, I haven't gotten to talk to you.
I know we've both been so busy, and then with the computer issues and the app, or well, Skype issues, all kinds of technical issues. It's just got to be crazy. So
Yeah,
it's good to be back.
it is, absolutely. So it's like, okay, so I think the last time we were on air was September 28th. Nope, it didn't happen. So September 21st was the last time we've been on. So yeah, it has been a few weeks.
It really has.
Yeah.
And we were going to have, I guess it's been 2 weeks ago, we were going to have Steph Diggs on here, or Steph Tangway, with Steph Diggs YouTube, and then we had issues, and we tried to get her back again, and then this week, I think she's been in Pennsylvania detecting.
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I got invited to go up there, but didn't quite. Plans didn't work out, so didn't get to make it. But I sure would have loved to have been up there and digging some of those amazing things, kappas. As
Yes.
I've been seeing some of their posts and what they found, and it looks like they've found some amazing stuff so far. So um, some of them are, I think, traveling back home today. So
Nice. So, how have you been? Have you gotten out? Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
let's see. I have. I'm in East Texas again, so if any of you are trying to get a hold of me, you're just going to get my voice message. I don't get signal out here. I'm on my parents' phone for the podcast. Um, I am. I've been detecting off and on some lately. I've been have some of those days that we all have occasionally, and those are those days where you go out and you don't find anything too great
Hmm.
or much of anything. I guess we all have
It
those days.
happens. Yeah.
Just depends on where you're going and what you're doing. And then Yesterday I went out with my friend Zola. I took her to an old dump, and another friend met up with us, and he's brand new to metal detecting, and he brought his Ace 400, and he found a few things. He's still, got a lot to learn, but he's getting there, and he said he had fun. I think he found, if you go to my zero discrimination group, he posted a photo, but it's only one photo. You can't tell from the photo that he posted. But there is this one metal object he found that I think is the end piece to the butt of a gun. Now, what kind of gun, I'm not sure, but just the shape of it, everything about it just says that it's the end piece to the butt of a gun. I don't know. I've got this feeling. I may be wrong. But anyway, as for me, though, the week before that, I got out and detected with my friend Zola and my buddy Scott, and I found an amazing find, and I'm still super excited about it. I haven't put out my video for it yet, but it is Confederate Star, Texas Confederate Star button. So I was really excited about
gorgeous. Gorgeous find.
that. It's not in perfect shape, but it still has, the back mark and everything, so you can date it and all that good stuff, look all that information up. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the Texas Star Confederate button, this particular button, when I looked it up, I found a website, a Civil War site that sells mainly buttons, and of course mine is dug and not in the greatest shape, where they listed one that was worth $3,995, I think. Ooh. Yeah, crazy. So of course, awesome. Mine I wouldn't sell, but it was really exciting. It's definitely a bucket lister and an amazing find. And I always love finding the Civil War finds, and you know how much I love buttons. So
yes, I do. But it's a gorgeous button.
It really is. It still has some of the gold gilding on it. I haven't totally cleaned it. I just wanted to get some of the outer crud off of it. I know that I think it was Keith Wills saw it. He had called me like at midnight. I was already in bed, I think sleeping, called me about midnight to let me know, hey, don't clean that anymore. But I'd already stopped cleaning it anyway. He was afraid I was going to ruin the value of it. But, me, and after us digging in that button dump, we kind of take our time cleaning our finds. So
especially, the unique
definitely
ones.
Don't want to devalue anything. So really exciting. And Tuesday night, I'm speaking at the Henderson Club here in East Texas, and Metal Detecting Club. And then Wednesday, I'm supposed to go with one of my friends back to Louisiana, and we're going to hunt another ghost town. This ghost town I've never detected at, so we'll see what goodies we find. Ooh. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's always nice to have different places to look forward to digging.
Definitely. Since I don't knock doors like you, I just make phone calls and talk to people and try to arrange things. I've actually been arranging some pretty cool stuff for the upcoming TV show. that I'm really excited about.
It's awesome.
I noticed Wayne had just mentioned in chat something about just getting back from Arizona, and I was working. Um, you know Cody Drake. We've had him on as a guest, working with uh, Cody and working on a permission over in Arizona and for the TV show. So I'm excited about that. And anyway, just looking forward to some of these hunts once we start filming, which is going to be very soon. So.
Oh, it's awesome. And
Yeah.
wait, didn't you also dig? Um, haven't did you did some dump digging too, didn't you, a couple weeks ago?
Yes, I did. See, I already forgot about that. uh,
Anything cool from
and
there?
um, mainly a bunch of bottles. So um, the bottles were just um, oh, I'm not as good on the knowing all the different types and names and stuff of the bottles, but
Gotcha.
we found some pretty cool ones. It's a dump that was actually from the 20s. Sorry, I'm not in chat anymore, so somehow I lost my chat. So if any of you are asking questions, I apologize. Um, the dump was started in the, I think, was our, well, we'll say documented in the 20s, but we've been finding some bottles older than the 20s. So I don't know if they were late throwaways or possibly could have been, you just never know.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's possible that the dump was there longer than was documented because of some of the stuff we were finding. But
Hmm.
I did find part of a silver bracelet, but that video will be coming out soon, so I'm trying not to give away too
Too
much
much.
about that. So, and dump digging, speaking of dump digging, you and Steph and Scott got to go to one of my favorite dumps.
Yes. Yeah. It was a good time. It
Instead
was a
of
good
digging
time.
one button like me, you got to dig hundreds of buttons. So tell us about those buttons.
It was pretty good. I mean, I got down there earlier than they did because I woke up at 3 in the morning and was like, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. Um, so I headed out pretty early in the morning. Fog was actually pretty intense, but made it there probably a half an hour after the sun rose and got to spend about 2 hours maybe before Steph got there. At that point, I really wasn't doing any digging. I was more so doing I Spy and just shuffling around discard piles and seeing what I could find. I
Hmm.
did find some cool buttons. I think really, all in all, I only came across maybe two buttons that I've never dug before.
Oh,
Um, and one was, it says Motor Man all the way around it, and it's got a wheel in the middle. And
cool.
apparently that's a railroad button, like employee railroad button. So that would have been a coat.
Neat.
Yeah, it would have been a coat button. And then I found it's a two-piece with an anchor, and then there's wheat behind it, like, the
Hmm.
fields of wheat. So those are the two that, and the anchor with the wheat behind it. I haven't actually found that yet in the book or any of my books. I did see it online, and they said it's military, but where it's not in any of the military books I have, I'm kind of doubting it and think it's just someone posted it as that to get
Hmm.
sales.
Yeah, right.
And so that's a coat button as well. And then I did end up with a coat button and two cufflink buttons for, it says CSL, and I think you and I both found them before. And that's the Chicago Surface Line, so like the trolley that ran.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yep. So
Didn't I
that's,
find a trolley token?
you did. Yep. Yep, you
Yeah, I
did.
forgot about that.
You did.
It's weird since that one trolley or transportation token that I found there at that dump. It seems like every dump I've dug in since then, I've found like a transportation token.
Well, that's
It's
definitely
weird.
not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
It's
Not at all.
awesome.
For
No,
this new dump.
yeah,
But
that's great. I know that, so we obviously were the three of us were talking, and we know that I found gold there before, and coins have been found there. You had found tokens, Scott had found tokens, and out of everyone that I've known that's dug there, nobody had found silver. And Scott actually, he ended up pulling up a Mercury dime, and then while we were standing there just, talking, and he goes, I think this is a ring. And he pulled it up, and yeah, he found an actual like sterling silver ring in the same
really,
hole. So yeah, he doubled silver while we were there. So that was pretty cool.
wow. I bet you he was excited because I know he's hunted that area a lot longer than anyone, I guess.
Yeah, yep.
Been
I would
been there many, many times. So, wow. I don't know
yeah.
what it is about finding rings, but I find I need to do a count. I lost count right around, I think it was 30 rings this year, and I haven't went back and counted my rings. I may be up to 40 something rings this year.
That's awesome.
And a lot of the rings that I found are in the river and water, and because that's where people go in and they're playing in the water, and unfortunately they don't realize that they're, especially the cold water like the Guadalupe where I detect a lot, your fingers shrink up to 2 ring sizes the colder it is. So unfortunately they lose a lot of rings. But I know recently you found a ring and you got a
Yes.
big surprise, I think.
It was quite a surprise, yeah. So, and I have to be honest here, so this was found with my eyes. This was no detector. Um, John brought me down to an area, to definitely treasure hunt. And I was talking to him, and he was up above me on a hill, and I looked down in the mud, and when I looked down in the mud, I saw like a circle in the mud, which could be, most of the time
Anything.
yeah, it could be anything. Most of the time, in this case, it's the top of a bottle, or I call them acorn hats, flipped upside down.
Yes, those things fool me all the time. I'm like, what is that? Oh, look. And it's one of those little acorn tops, the little
Yep,
hats.
yep,
They
acorn
fool me.
hats. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I flipped it, out flipped, out flipped ring, and I looked up at him like, "Oh my gosh!" And he's like, "What?" And I held him like, "I found a ring." Wasn't even looking yet. Wasn't
Wow.
treasure hunting. Wasn't. It was just one of those. I'm constantly looking down. I'm sure a lot of us do, because you just never know what you'll find on the ground anywhere. So
Right.
I found it, and it's this really kind of ugly looking ring. In my mind, it's ugly looking, and especially in the shape it was in. And
Mm,
I brought it over to the water and kind of got some of the mud off it, and looked, and I'm like, geez, it's stamped 14K, and I'm like, there's no way, no way. I have found plenty of gold rings before, and they have never looked like this. Like, it
right.
was dark red like copper. It had green, like the actual pure green patina. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely that whoever bought this got bamboozled.
Right.
And I showed John and he's like, I don't know, it could be. And he's like, oh, it's so heavy, and yeah, so I posted it and I'm like, either way, it's awesome. It's my first ring of October. Um, Honestly was only there for like 5 minutes before I spotted it. Didn't even
Wow.
pull out any of the machines, didn't do anything at that point, and was like, oh. And so it's definitely a lucky day where it was a lucky day just to find the ring. And then Sean had mentioned to me, Sean Sergeant Whitey Sherrill, he had said,
Uh-huh.
he's found some rings that are in horrible condition, in that are in like brackish water or near salt water, or depending on the environment, the damage is pretty horrendous to some of these rings that you can't even tell that it's anything real. But
Right.
he had one that turned out to be real. So and I'm thinking, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking he thinks it's real too. I'm like, looking at it, I really don't think so.
Yeah. When I saw you first post that photo of that ring, I thought, I found those before. They're the rings that some. It's supposed to look like the gold nugget,
Yeah.
whatever that was popular for a while, and they would sell them where they would plate them. And I found them before where they were silver and they were plated 14 or 18 karat. And when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it was cool. She found a cool ring. But yeah, I thought the same thing as you.
Yep. So, don't tell anybody, but I did some things to it that you probably don't want to do to any items you find. Like, I took a Brillo pad to the band of it, thinking, okay, you know what? I don't care. It's an ugly ring. I'm gonna scrape off and see if this gold will flake off.
Uh-huh.
Um, the gold didn't flake off. Instead, the red and the green flaked off, and it was gold underneath it.
Wow,
So I was
that's
like, all right, I probably shouldn't scrape this with this. It was one of those coarse, not even Brillo pad, but like the actual, all it is, yeah, basically Brillo without the material in it. And I was like, all right, well, I'll throw this in I have an ultrasonic cleaner, and I realized I couldn't find the solution. So I'm like, So I threw in a little bit of vinegar, some Dawn dish soap, and soaked it, let it vibrate in that thing for about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Took it out, and I'm like, wow, it's really like starting to gleam up. I'm like, but the stupid, because of the gold nugget style on it, I'm like, all those
right.
crevices, it just really wasn't coming clean.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do something else here you probably shouldn't do to items like this. And I took some, I think it's called Lime Away. It's not CLR, but it's another form of CLR in a
But,
spray bottle. Yeah.
uh,
And I sprayed it down and took a toothbrush to it, and the rest of it came off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah,
wow.
yeah. The ring that I
Oh,
was like, that poor bugger got bamboozled. This is definitely not 14 karat. It is in fact definitely 14
that
karat
that's
and
awesome.
over 14 grams of 14 karat. So I'm pretty excited.
14 grams. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That's
Yep.
exciting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Yeah, and gold's up right now, so if you did want to sell it,
yes, yeah.
that would be the ring to sell
I
if you
know.
were going to, you
I
know.
think yeah, I think in some way it was them trying, I didn't get out much last week at all. I have basically a brand new pickup truck, little over a year old, less than 30,000 miles, and I cracked the manifold. So I had to drop that off. And, I did realize something though, by going from getting out almost every single day, even if it's for like 30 minutes during my lunch break,
Uh-huh.
um, that spending even 4 days not getting out is definitely does something to your brain.
It does do something to your brain because there was a whole week there where I didn't get to get out. I was busy doing other stuff. And I actually had some friends that came in from Louisiana that had to evacuate because of the recent storm.
Hmm.
And there was a friend I hadn't seen in a long, long, long time. And she's even married since I knew her then, and I'd never met her husband, her new husband. So we met up before I left, and got to go out and eat and stuff. And we were talking, and he brought up, because we were, of course, you know how you always get talking about metal detecting, and and they had come over and saw some of my finds and things. He was asking me how I cleaned some of my finds, and so I was telling him. He said, "Oh, have you ever heard of um, okay, not CLR and not Rust-Oleum. What's the other one you use?
Vapor rust?
The Vapor Rust. Okay, a Vapor Rust was invented by his one of his friends,
Hmm.
and from Louisiana."
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought it was so cool. I was like, "Oh, I have to tell, I have to tell my friend Amanda."
That's
She's
great.
gonna
Yeah,
get a
because
kick out of that.
it's one of my favorite cleaning solutions in the arsenal of cleaning
Right, of
items.
all of our different cleaning things. And speaking of cleaning things, you said you threw your ring in the ultrasonic um, cleaner. Where did you buy that, or if you don't mind, did you get it online, or
It was a hand-me-down.
was it?
So I'm pretty
Okay.
sure my mom had it to clean her jewelry, so that way she didn't have to drop them off at the store. So I think
Okay.
back in the day, and I'm not sure if they were everywhere, but it was maybe service merchandise or an
Oh,
Ames.
really? Wow. Yeah.
So,
Well,
but I think you can find them on Amazon.
I think I've seen them on Amazon, and they're all different kinds of prices. So I was thinking recently about getting one, and that's why I thought I'd ask you. Because I know I've got a lot of people. I mean, probably one of our most frequent asked questions is how do we clean our finds?
Yep.
And there's so many different ways to clean different finds, and some finds I just use a little soap and water.
Yep.
And most of the time, they clean up well. But that's one thing that I've been thinking about purchasing. Um, I just thought it would be good for some of the jewelry since I find so many rings and stuff. And we used to use those when I worked at a jewelry store uh, many, many moons ago. So,
Yeah.
but
And it says for stuff like that, I know for the gold, researching for the solution to use in the ultrasonic cleaner is
uh-huh,
honestly a little bit of Dawn. It said, dish soap and ammonia.
right,
Well, I'm like, all right, what's a substitute for ammonia? Ammonia. And yeah, just a little bit of vinegar. So I was like, oh, that works. And some of these things that you have on hand can actually be used that might be in your pantry instead of having to go out and purchase special stuff. And I
that's
mean,
so true.
I constantly always keep my toothbrush that I had, you know,
Hmm.
so when I get a new one, oh, now I got a new cleaning utensil. So,
So I want to ask you about. I I've never tried this, and I've seen people do this to some of their silver coins because you don't want to use anything abrasive. Um, have you ever used it's baking soda and then you heat it up in the foil and all that? I think it's baking soda.
I've only actually done just straight baking soda. I never did the heating aspect of
Okay.
it. I mean, we've had a couple really crusty, horrible condition
Mhm.
silvers, mercuries, things like that, that we actually
Right.
stuck in the electrolysis machine.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, and it was more so we knew that the coin wasn't worth anything,
Uh-huh.
basically, except for the melt value of what for
Right.
the silver. So it was one of those things that we didn't care about putting it in
Right. Right.
electrolysis. And it did. It cleaned it up absolutely beautifully. I mean, yes, it takes the dirt out of from every little inch and crevice of that coin. So you might see, I called them pock marks on the
Mm,
coin, but um, so yeah, you wouldn't want to do that with anything that you cared about.
right.
But
That's
the baking,
true.
yeah, the heating of the baking soda, I've never tried it. I've never tried it. I've used the what is it, baking soda, baking powder, baking soda. I've used the baking soda as a cleaning abrasive on a couple items. And again, it was things I didn't care about because the baking soda can
Right.
leave scratch marks
Right.
because
True.
it's a thicker, more abrasive. But yeah, so not sure.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask because we were talking about cleaning that ring and cleaning different things, and that's probably the most frequent asked question I get on my YouTube channel, and just from especially people starting out, beginning, and and they ask me how I clean my coins, and I'm like, well, if it's clad coins, I can just throw them in the tumbler.
Yep, tumbler.
Uh, it's the easiest way to clean a bunch at once. Other than that, I don't care about the clad coins, but my other stuff I do, and just have to be really cautious how you clean them. So
Yeah. And even the clad in the tumbler, I mean, you can do like use the fish gravel. I mean, not like neon colored gravel or anything,
right,
just the
right.
natural. But yeah, you just throw that in there because it's so cheap compared to, any of the other cleaning.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, so many different ways. And that's the thing too, is a lot of times, I guess you learn for yourself.
You do. Sometimes you learn the hard way,
Yes.
and um, hopefully by some of the stuff we discuss, that's why I like to bring it up, is save some people from learning the hard way, because you don't want to ruin the value of something that could potentially be very valuable. Just like the button um, that that I found. Not that I would sell it, but just to say, because you never know sometimes the rarity of some things that we do dig up, and it's worth until after the fact. So um, it's best to just be cautious from the beginning. That's for sure.
Hmm. That's, yeah, exactly. I mean, majority of the time too, lately, um, metal detecting, a lot of times I don't even field clean them anymore. I I
Yeah,
I actually pack my fines case with dirt and
that's smart.
keep the fines in the dirt until I can get home and get a proper look on them. I think I
It's
did it.
really smart. That is so smart. With me, there's certain finds that when I'm out in the field, like if it's a coin where I'm wanting to know the date, I'll put a little water on it depending on what it is. If it's an Indian head penny, wipe it off a little. I do carry a brush. And I do that too, for the video. But if I know it's something that I'm not sure of, I'll just say, usually in my video, I'm going to wait and clean this up when I get home.
Yeah.
Because there's just some things you just want to make sure that you don't destroy, or, uh, you know, while you're out in the field and metal detecting.
And
And
then
it's smart to pack it in a little that dirt that you dug it in.
yeah, yeah. I heard right now it really wouldn't help because our dirt is dust, but if you pack it hard, pack it in good enough, maybe. Lloyd did say if you're, I don't know if you got back into chat or not, but he said
Yeah.
you heat vinegar and you put aluminum foil in pan and put the coin on top. Then you rub it with baking soda.
Okay. So vinegar. Okay.
Yep. And then one of the best ways to clean silver, he cuts the baking soda with water.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I think I think Dawn from Dear Dawn from the UK showed how she cleans some of her silver coins with baking soda, kind of that way. But I didn't remember her using vinegar. But I'd been meaning to try it. But I really don't have many coins that I could do that on. I've got a coin that I never cleaned that, well, you know, sometimes I have like Barbara dimes or Mercury dimes that comes out of the ground that's pretty, you know, or if it comes out of water is pretty black and stuff. But I've never cared about making them all shiny and pretty.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I like the I like the way they come out, you know. But
Oh,
maybe I
I was gonna say, how was the? I'm gonna throw you in an entirely different direction,
okay.
but how was the scout camp that you did?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that happened the Ohio trip with so most of you know probably already I flew over to Ohio and met up with Dave Canterbury, and he had put together a hunt for a scout camp, or at a scout camp, um, and for kids. And we had about 30 kids, and they came with their parents. And because of COVID, what we did is we just let them stick with their parents, um, and metal detect with their parents. And so Dave and I basically, um, Dave and I showed them how to metal detect, what to do, how to make a plug, how to use the pinpointer, everything about the basics about metal detecting. And they got to hunt at this scout camp. And I just uploaded a video. If you haven't watched it, uh, please go check it out. Garrett was kind enough to send over about 30 uh, machines for the kids to use, and pinpointers, and um, pouches, along with um, headphones as well. And it was a really amazing thing. I was really impressed with Garrett sending over that many machines, and they weren't the Ace 200s; these were the Ace 300s. So
Nice.
um, I thought that was really nice. And so many of these kids, they were all ages. There were some, there was this one little girl that was about 6 years old that was just adorable. Um, but there were girls and boys and of all ages from, I would say, 6 up to probably the oldest might have been 17. Not for sure. And they had a great time. This was not a seated hunt. This was all natural finds, and so they found everything from, there were some silver coins found, lots of scalp pins, pocket knives, um, neckerchiefs, scalp neckerchiefs, just you name it. All kinds of really neat finds. And the kids just had a blast, and I brought prizes to give away, and Dave had some prizes, and they got to keep their Garrett bags that Garrett had sent them. And anyway, it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. So if you get a chance, go hop on over Zero Discrimination, my YouTube channel, check out the Ohio Scout Camp hunt. It's a really short video, because just didn't have time to include it all, and a lot of times I was showing them how to metal detect and stuff, so didn't have that much time to film, but it was great. It
That's
was a
awesome.
lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm contemplating trying to get to the Best of New England. Actually, I think kicks off maybe tomorrow. So
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Oh, if you go, I'll live vicariously through you.
Yeah. It's been going back, going back and forth. I think the natural hunts are this week, and
Okay.
I haven't signed up for any yet, so I got to figure out distance wise and how long it will
Yeah.
take. And we've actually we're starting to get back into the cold weather, but I heard by midweek we might be back in the 60s. But this morning it didn't really get out of the, high 40s until maybe around 1 when it got to like 52. I'm like,
Oh wow.
so with the wind and the cold, yeah, we're getting definitely, it's definitely October, feeling like November.
Wow. Yesterday it got to 97.
Oh, I wish. Wish. Can't we just cut it in half and split?
Right. Today in East Texas, when my dad and I were out metal detecting earlier, it was only 81. It was a nice breeze too. It was sunny though, so it still got warm. Not as hot here, but anyway. Well, good
Eric,
luck. Go.
thanks. Yeah, Eric just said the natural hunts are Tuesday through Saturday. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah, I'll let you know if I end up going. I
yeah.
am.
Let me know. I hope you get to go. I wish I
Thanks.
could go. Um, but we should be. I'm not sure yet when we're going to start filming. We're trying to get things moving along, so hopefully soon. I think um, one of the producers is we're working on trying to get. They saw my video on the Ohio hunt with the kids, and they have a historical land up there that's part of a trust, and um, they talked about it to the head person of the trust, and now they're wanting to do something similar to what Dave and I did in Ohio with the kids up there, and that would be probably the second or third weekend in November if we do that, and that would be in Georgia.
Awesome.
So they're working on trying to plan something like that and see if Garrett would be willing to send over some detectors and people to help out with it. So, and then if that happens, part of that property is one of the areas we would like to film for this TV show. So we'll see
Awesome. Is
if it
that
works out.
also, was that where you went this past spring and found some pretty cool things? Was that the Georgia site?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm. I don't remember which place you might be talking about.
I think you found a Confederate button, an eagle button.
That was
That
Louisiana. That's
Louisiana.
where I'm going Wednesday, but not to that same site. Um,
Gotcha.
going
Emily
to.
says Emily says she's in Georgia, so you'll
Oh,
have to give her a
okay.
shout.
Well, definitely. She's in Georgia. Okay.
I need to get this a big one of those giant map. Put it on. I mean, right now,
And find out exactly where all
yeah.
the detectorists live, and that way, when I know I'm heading in that area, I can say, "Hey, I'm heading to your area," because you don't know how many people and messages I get, and I'm sure you get them all the time too. Hey, if you're ever in the so and so area, let me know, and we'll go digging. And I can't remember where anybody lives.
Yes. Same, same. I mean, right now the room I'm sitting in, so I have obviously a workstation, all of a bunch of finds, cases, everything, but the walls are all stickers. So stickers and patches from all the different
Oh, cool.
detectorists. Now, if I could find another wall and do, yeah, the giant map and be, all right, so this is where this detectorist. I mean, the same goes for everybody out there too. I say, hey, if you're coming to Maine, give me a shout. Like, there's if you bottle dump dig, mudlark, metal detect, there's always something. Magnet fish.
Right.
If you have a significant other that likes, just shopping or this, I could tell you where they can go and
Right.
we'll make it fun, New England. But Yeah. So
Oh,
we'll have to start a
and Emily over in Georgia, I got some stickers from her not too long ago, and I meant to give her a shout out, and I haven't yet. I apologize, but thank you for the stickers and card, Emily. I appreciate it.
let's see. It says Mike Fuson actually says that anyone looking for a great time this weekend, the Indiana Gold Prospectors are having their seated hunt. So there's camping, food, fireworks, gold prospecting, nighttime hunts, and he thinks it's $35 for a day hunt. Hey, that's pretty good for,
That is,
yeah. Well, I wish I could be there. To any of you who go, enjoy.
definitely.
And find some of
Sounds
that,
like,
yeah, find some of that gold.
uh-huh. Well, let's see. Anything else we need to mention tonight, or?
I know tomorrow is, I think it's part 4 of All Metal Mode, and I can't think of what group or what phase, not what phase. Horrible, horrible. Um, what show are they working on right now? Yep, my mind is gone. So tune in tomorrow for, thank you, Bill, Heroes and Hostiles. So,
Ooh,
and
that sounds
that's, I
interesting.
think, part 4. I only just started listening to the first one today. It was actually really good. So I'm hoping to catch the rest. So yeah, that's it. Good luck at your speaking at your club tomorrow,
Thank
and
you.
best of luck out detecting.
Whew, yeah. Hopefully we'll get on something good.
I hope so.
And you too. Whatever you
Thanks.
decide to do, good luck to you.
Thank you. Really, I got working headphones again, so hoping to hoping to get back out and detect. If we get a couple more warm days, maybe I'll go play in the mud. Because once winter hits, that I'm not,
There's no
no,
right.
no playing in the water or mud.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, it was great being on again. It's been a while. We'll definitely have Steph back. Hopefully, she'll be able to um, maybe next week and next Monday. And we'll got some other guests that we're going to be lining up and have for you soon. So now that we're back in commission, we'll
Yeah.
hope to see y'all
Yes.
again soon.
Absolutely. All right.
All right. Well, thank you all, and thank you for listening, and happy hunting to all, and you all have a great night.
Good night, all.